Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a dynamic effort lower day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below. Also, if you guys would please click on my Titan Fitness affiliate link, that would be greatly appreciated. It is in the description of each video, along with a link for details on coaching. I have a few slots open at the moment, so get in there. They're probably going to fill up in January, so jump on now. So for the squats, because I took the weight up, the more I look at it, the more I want to mess with heavier weight again on dynamic effort work. Yes, I'm aware it's a little harder to recover from. However, if done correctly, that also means I can get away with a little less supplemental work. So it's a good idea at this point. I just feel like I get a lot out of it, and I love what winning does with the lighter stuff, and a lot of my fighters and stuff do really, really well on that, particularly when we go to fives. But I think for power lifters, I notice I'm stronger when I go heavier, right? And we can do waves of the lighter. We can do waves. There are definitely benefits to it, but I need to be working up towards West Side type percentages. That also means that these fives are kind of hard. I feel like I'm losing bar speed. So what I'm going to do is go back over to higher sets with less reps starting next week, like I do with the deadlift coming up. The other thing, notice my quads. Since I've been cutting, my quads are smaller. I can tell they're smaller. That's going to be a problem for my squatting. So I'm going to have to definitely do the belt squat. I was hoping I could just cut it out. But here's what's going on with that. We all have that little bit of lazy streak on some stuff. I know everyone's like, Jason, you train really hard with a ton of volume. But especially for your age, and I hate it when that happens, especially for your age. It's like, come on, guys. I'm only about to turn 46, not that bad. Although it is different. The thing is, we all have that little bit of lazy streak sometimes, and for me, it's when I'm cutting. I don't want to do deep squatting movements of any type, even the belt squat. I hate them when I'm cutting. I do, but the thing is, I have to turn that around. We can program ourselves to say, look, we love this stuff. We do what we have to do. Just get in and do it and convince ourselves that we love it. And so that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to continue to do the deep belt squats. I took the sled workout just for a short phase. You guys will find out why coming up. But starting in another week or two, I'm going to start ramping the sled work back up. Right? I'm going to ramp that sled work back up. I'm going to do the belt squats, and we have to get those quads bigger. I have to. In addition to doing some of the heavy good mornings on max effort days. It has to be done, cutting or not. The thing is, I just have to watch overall fatigue, keep sleep on point, don't cut too fast. And I get people who are like, Coach, you're really lean right now. I'm like, I'm really not. Trust me, guys, I'm not as lean as some of you think I am. I need to drop realistically right now, for the long term, at least in to give the long-term best advantage of what I need, I'm going to have to drop 10 to 15 more pounds of body fat. And I'm going to have to regain some muscle. I need to get leaner and then fill this class out. Or I just need to get a lot leaner and then fill out a little more and run the next class down. And it's hard at my height to do the 198, but it is Masters 2. It's less competitive. But even then, if I do the 220, I'm going to have to fill it out, and I'm still going to need to get leaner, right, even if I stay 220. So either way, I have to do it that way. So if you guys notice also on those speed pulls, notice I paused at the top. I went with a lot heavier weight. I did 6 doubles, pause at the top. All right, this is something I always stress, and particularly for my lifters, a lot of my lifters like to skip that lockout. And I've had 1 or 2 that will hyperextend in place of, I'm like, no, don't hyperextend. It just hurts your back. Just stand up straight. That's it. Just stand up straight and tall. That's what we do on a deadlift. Just stand up. But a lot of my guys will short stroke it. They'll skip those lockouts. And I'm like, not only is it teaching you to decelerate, we lose some of the benefits of the speed work. If you guys are running bands or chains, you're missing grip training. And I think particularly with bands, because they're so aggressive on your grip, that hold at the top for a brief second really, really gives you a positive impact on your grip training. So always remember to do that. And you guys will notice on the belt squats, I'm sticking with what I had been doing. Again, better stimulus to fatigue, better quad development. Okay, because why are we doing stuff like this? It's for quads, largely. I mean, let's be honest here. Yeah, it's working glutes and adductors, But the glutes and adductors get worked on all of our posterior chain movements too. We need this deep knee angle to get the most out of this, right? Deep knee angle, hammer those quads, and they were burning after that. They weren't happy with me. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take them really deep. I'm going to take those way deeper than I'm going to need to take a squat. Because we can, because it's not the same fatigue. You're not dealing with a bar up on top of your back, right? And that's the issue with volume squatting. And that's the issue I've had with it in the past when I've done it. It just beats you up when you reach a certain strength level. It really does. You know, when you start getting past about a 500 squat, it just beats you up. So that we have to be more intelligent with our hypertrophy work. You know, we can go heavy with a heavy weight on our back on max effort day. And to some extent that will happen on dynamic days. Now, if I take the percentages, keep taking them up, it's going to be a lot of weight at the lockouts. Okay, so there's still an axial loading component. It's just not as profound as you know, if we try to do real volume. But it is still going to be there. So in the name of brevity, because I wanted this workout done within an hour, I wanted to keep this workout brief and effective today for a number of reasons, which I'll explain later. I'm not going to go into it in this particular video. I wanted to keep it brief, so I did all my back work as a superset. So you guys can see this is just one recorded set. I took a weight that I knew would be easy on the first set, but I'd be struggling on reps 9 and 10 on the third set if I took no breaks. So my only breaks are switching hands. Okay, and I don't recommend you train your back like this all the time, keeping in mind I did normal work sets yesterday for seal rows. But on this particular day, you know, sometimes we can get away with that because this is, again, a second back day, back to back, because I am doing lat work on all 4 of my days, both upper and lower. And it makes sense. There's both deadlift and bench accessories. So on bench and deadlift days, you know, we can get away with rowing. And I kind of agree with guys like Dave Tate when he has a lot of his lifters do back work on all 4 days. And by back, we mean middle and upper back. And I don't have all of my lifters do that, but I have a lot of them do it, particularly those who really need it. And I'm one of the few people who doesn't always, because my back tends to be well developed. But also, I need to recomp. You know, the more hypertrophy I can stimulate and recover from if I pick good movements, the better off I'm going to be on the cut, because that means it's more biased towards fat loss as far as every pound of scale weight. And that's what we need to have happen. And I'm not going to say that always preserves lean tissue, because people will say, well, this person lost on a DEXA scan, they lost this small amount of lean tissue. You know, was that muscle? No, it's not always muscle. We're trying to keep the lean tissue and muscle from going away at all when we're cutting. And in a perfect world of some of what I'm doing, maybe gain a small amount, especially off muscle memory, because I've lost some. I can see places where I've lost it recently again. So a lot of that is connective tissue. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Some of the lean tissue you are losing is connective tissue inside your fat. Your fat is not purely fat. People aren't always aware of that. Just like some of your muscle, there is also some fat inside your muscles, right? We store triglycerides in there, intramuscular fat. And that's not a bad thing. It's useful to us for training purposes. It's a good fuel source in there. And it will, in theory, make you look bigger. So we did our reverse hypers. I'm trying to be as strict as possible on these. I want to get them stricter and stricter and adjust my position to get more range of motion. You know, so I might want to find a way to slide myself a little higher up and just get stronger at this weight rather than increase weight. I want to make this lift more difficult to get the most out of it. Because, I mean, I can move tons of weight. You guys have watched me do 15 reps with 630 a while back on the other one before I got this heavier piece. But I'm trying to do them as strict as possible to make it challenging and still get the amazing benefits of the reverse hyperextension. All right, and then we finished up with band crunches. As I've been losing weight, I do feel like my core is losing some stability and strength, like my trunk. So we need to be adding ab work, at least on the lower days. And I know this is only one set, and I'll ramp it up. Probably, you know, next week we'll start adding more and more sets. We'll get it up to a respectable level. But I've been kind of neglecting the ab work lately. And I feel like that's costing me on my squat. It's costing me. And I think it's because, again, the cutting and losing mass in the trunk, we're losing some stability. So we've got to make that back up with stronger abs and obliques. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.